Heyo, John Lee Dumas here of Entrepreneur on Fire, the #1 business podcast, and you are listening to the How to Quit Working show by Jeff Steinman, where you'll hear insights, stories, and inspiration from successful entrepreneurs who quit their job and started a business. Prepare to ignite.
This is the How to Quit Working show. Jeff Steinman believes entrepreneurship is the only true path to freedom. That's why he created the How to Quit Working show, where you'll hear stories, insights, and inspiration from lifestyle fanatics who left their soul-sucking 9-to-5 job forever. Now, here's your host, author, entrepreneur, and ultimate lifestyle fanatic, Jeff Steinman.
Hello and welcome to the How to Quit Working show. Today, I think you could actually call it the How to Quit Whining show because as you saw in the title maybe before you clicked on the show, today it's called How to Quit Whining and Be Confident. I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of being a little tough on yourself as you need to do at times in business. And then in our new every Friday segment, Heather is going to talk about how to be confident and how to have confidence and the importance of having confidence in business later on in the show. So lots of good stuff coming up in the show. And first of all, I just have to apologize because I got a little bit of a sinus congestion kind of thing going on. So I will need to stop and take a drink of water every couple of minutes probably. And I probably sound a little bit more congested, and I may do a little bit of coughing, but I'll try to minimize that and keep it out of the microphone. So apologies in advance for that, but I am not going to whine about it. I'm just going to push forward and deal with it. Now, before we get into the content, remember that over on Facebook, we've got this amazing thing called the How to Quit Working Circle. And what happens over there is that is where people just like you go to get support and encouragement and advice and bounce ideas off of each other and, quite frankly, make great friends and maybe even business partners. And it's become such a fun place. It's become such a great place for folks to go and get that support that you probably don't get in your everyday life. One of the biggest things that I hear about, and I just wrote a blog about this last week, is my friends and family don't support what I'm doing in my business. They think I'm crazy. And that makes perfect sense because you're going off the beaten path. You're doing something different. What you're doing is completely possible. People do it every single day, but not the majority of people. So it's understandable that they would support you, but you do have to have a place that you can go to talk to like-minded people and get support and encouragement from other people who want the same thing out of life that you want. And the How to Quit Working Circle on Facebook is the place to do that. Now, one of the things that I love about the group and how it has grown is that now that it has gotten bigger and now that we have Heather Osgood, the How to Quit Working coach, involved in everything How to Quit Working, we can offer a much larger and wider perspective. For example, there was a conversation about how to transition from having a full-time job to your own business when you've got a baby on the way. Now, that's not something I have any business talking about, and I would never talk about it because the closest I can get to being a parent is that I have a niece or nephew coming in May, and that hasn't even happened yet. So I certainly can't talk to any of that, and I obviously will just be the uncle buying the loud, noisy toys and spoiling the child whenever I get the opportunity, and that's not parenting. That's a whole different thing. So we've had a great conversation about that. Heather brings great perspective from someone who has a family and has also started multiple businesses while she has had the family. So great perspective, and that's the kind of great stuff that we get out in the How to Quit Working Circle. So again, howtoquitworking.com/group, and that will shoot you over to Facebook, and you can click on Join Group and jump in there into the great conversation and just have a blast talking with other people who were just like you, want the same things out of life. howtoquitworking.com/group. I look forward to seeing you over there. Now let's talk a little bit about not whining and kind of what inspired this topic for today's show is a couple of things. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I kind of looked at myself. There's you have up and downs in entrepreneurship, but every entrepreneur will tell you that. And I was kind of having a bit of a down a couple of weeks ago, and which is ironic because a lot of really great things are happening with How to Quit Working, And I think we're hitting kind of like this tipping point where I'm starting to see new listeners to the show, people joining the Facebook group, getting emails and comments from people that I don't know, never even heard of. I don't know how they're finding out about how to quit working. And I think that we're hitting that point where something is really grabbing hold, and this is getting ready to be a really big thing. I think it's already a pretty big thing, but it's going to be even bigger. But at the same time, feeling like a little bit bummed out. I was just kind of feeling like, the routine was kind of getting to me, and in order to build a brand like this, you got to do a lot of the same things over and over and over again. And no matter how much you might enjoy doing them, sometimes the routines get a little old. And with the growth that we've seen and the new things that we're doing, it's meant a lot of work. It's meant a lot of late nights. It's meant a lot of weekends for me, which for the most part I enjoy. But this last couple weeks ago was feeling a little bummed out. And one of the things that I kind of discovered was that, you know what, I just kind of needed to buck up. I needed to kind of man up, quit whining and crying about it, and just do it. Because while what was going on at the moment, right, and those day-to-day things were happening weren't, just were kind of bringing me down, in the grand scheme of things, things are going in the right direction. Things are the exact same things that I want to happen are what's happening. This how to quit working is becoming a bigger thing, which requires more and more work. And in the long run, in the grand scheme of things, that's perfectly fine. But sometimes in the moment, we get a little bit caught up in the details. We get caught up in I don't want to stay late at the office tonight working on this or writing this blog post or writing this article for Lifehack or whatever it is that I'm working on. And it's easy to kind of get caught up in that, and it's easy to kind of start whining and crying about it. And I think that's the trap that I sort of got caught in too. And what I did was I got myself out of it, and I've gotten really good at, because I've studied this stuff so much, I've gotten really good at being able to figure out how do you actually kind of change your mood and change the way that you're thinking and change your attitude so that you can change your actions. And the thing that happened for me was I started to say, okay, well, look at the bigger picture. Look at the long-term picture of this. Look at the good things that are happening, and try to tie those day-to-day things that you're maybe getting a little bit tired of to that bigger picture. When I was able to do that, my attitude really changed, and it changed from a not wanting to be in the office until 9 o'clock at night to an attitude of, boy, I'm pumped up to be in the office until 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, because I'm really enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm taking my focus off of what some of the immediate things might be that are kind of mundane and not real enjoyable, and putting that focus instead on the long term, the bigger picture, the big things, the places that I want to go, the good things that are happening, and the outcome that comes from doing those bigger things. So that was a huge shift for me, and it got me to thinking too. It got me to thinking. I'm always looking back and evaluating what we're doing here and how to quit working, because I believe that I have a huge responsibility to you. And that is to give you the tools and the resources and everything that you possibly need to successfully quit your job and start a business. That's what I've promised you. And whether you're a paying customer or not, which a vast majority of you are not, you're just listeners of the show. That's the way it works, right? You have a lot of people that are exposed. Some of the people go farther and become clients. But whether you're a paying customer or not, I feel a huge responsibility to you to deliver the things that you need, and I'm uniquely qualified to do that because I've been through the things that you've been through, and I understand the struggles that you're going through, and I understand the things that you're thinking. And now with Heather, the How to Quit Working coach, being part of How to Quit Working, we have a whole new perspective that brings in the family aspect of it. It brings in the bricks and mortar aspect of starting a business. So there's a whole lot of different things and new ways that we're able to support you. And that's very exciting. But we also have to, as an organization, look at what are we not doing enough of, right? What could we bring? Where's a place where we could bring more to the table? And I think the family aspect is one where Heather's bringing a whole heck of a lot to the table. But as I went through this journey of discovery of my own a couple of weeks ago, what I found was that I think that maybe we need to be a little bit tougher sometimes. I think that I think there's times when, as entrepreneurs, we need to be told, just shut up, quit whining, get your butt in gear, and do the work that you need to do. Just do it. And I don't want to sound like a Nike commercial. But that really is the answer to a whole lot of things. I found in my life and in my journey, a lot of times I'm sitting there and I'm analyzing, well, why am I thinking this way? Why do I not feel motivated today? Why this? Why that? Why? When in reality, I need to just put the pedal to the metal, put the rubber to the road, whatever the analogy that you want to use is, but just got to get the work done. You just got to bang it out. You just got to get up in the morning and do that work. You just got to stay up late. You got to work on your lunch hour. You got to work into the evening. And one of the things that I was whining about when I had my little breakdown a couple of weeks ago was this whole, I had a couple of social things that I wanted to go to. There was this really cool beer tasting at the Botanical Gardens right near me, and I was really excited about going to that. And I kind of couldn't go because I needed to finish up some work and, a couple other things. My brother was in town, and I wanted to do more with him and his new wife, but didn't have as much time as I wanted, and everything that I do in my life anyway, and everything that How to Quit Working is about spending more time doing those things that you want to do. But the reality is there's times when you have to delay that gratification some, and I know that might sound contradictory because How to Quit Working is all about not delaying all of your gratification until retirement. But the reality of it is, you can't always have your cake and eat it too. And it does mean that sometimes you have to delay that gratification, that immediate gratification, that one night with beers with friends, or that one afternoon having a lunch with someone, or whatever it may be. You do have to delay those things, knowing that in a couple of years, you'll be able to do a lot more of that. You'll have a lot more freedom and a lot more flexibility to make decisions that are more compatible with what you really want in your life. So again, I'm always really sensitive about not wanting to paint this overly rosy picture of entrepreneurship, and I hope that some of the stuff that we're talking about, we've been talking with guests a lot more about the financial side of it. How do you make the financial transition? And that also involves making sacrifices. It involves not eating out as much. It involves getting rid of the cable TV, which I think is the number one best thing that you can do to move your journey forward for a number of reasons. You can save money and you can get yourself a whole bunch of time back, but that's a whole nother show. But the financial side involves sacrifice. There's absolutely sacrifice that is involved in starting a business, and I don't want to ever paint an overly rosy picture about it. And that's why we've really dug into the financial transition. We got a couple more guests coming up that are going to talk really specifically about how they made the financial transition from working a full-time job to having their own business and some of the sacrifices that are involved in that. And so far, you've heard a couple of the episodes, but so far nobody has said, I totally regret it. I really wish that I could have bought more Coach handbags or gone to more football games or drank more beer or whatever it might be. Nobody has ever said that they made those financial sacrifices. And I think that we also talk about the time sacrifices that you have to make in the near term to build your business. And never heard anybody say, wow, I sure wish that, I hadn't built this business and instead gone out to drink beer with my friends more often. Or I wish that I had not built this business and instead watched more TV or watched more football or whatever those things are that might be sacrifices. So I think the theme is recognize that you do have to make sacrifices and you do have to sometimes just quit whining and just kick yourself in the ass and go do the thing that you need to do to be successful and to build your business. And there's just no shortcuts. There aren't any shortcuts in life, and there certainly aren't any shortcuts in business. And sometimes that does mean not doing the thing that you want to do. But the real secret to it is you've got to keep your mind thinking about where you're going and why you're doing it. Skipping that one event with friends that you really wanted to go to means having more availability to do more of those types of things in the future. And you've got to kick yourself in the butt. You got to make yourself do it. And sometimes just quit analyzing it so much. Quit thinking about what's wrong with me. Why don't I do this? Why did I do that? Am I self-sabotaging? Blah, 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 blah. Just quit all of that and buck up and just do the damn thing that you need to do. Now, speaking of doing the thing that you need to do, I fully believe that one of the core things that stops people from being successful is that they aren't confident that they can actually do the thing that they are trying to do. They truly do not believe that they are capable of it. They don't think it'll happen. They don't think that they can do it. And that is called category A, lack of confidence. And Heather Osgood, the How to Quit Working coach, is now going to talk about confidence and how to have more confidence and why it's important to have confidence. So Heather, take it away.
Hello, How to Quit Working community. I am so happy to be here with you today. I hope you're all having a terrific day, and I hope that you're taking those little steps toward meeting your goals. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about the difference between desperation and confidence. Now, all of us have had times in our life where we felt desperate, and all of us hopefully have had times where we felt confident. And so what we want to look at is what creates those feelings of desperation and what creates the feelings of confidence, and how confidence can really add up to you being a huge success in life. So I want to start first by talking a little bit about desperation. Desperation is something that occurs in your life when you feel like there's no way out. You feel like you're trapped. Perhaps you feel like you're in a situation in your job where you currently really just aren't getting anywhere. Perhaps you feel like there's no end in sight. You really believe that you're going to be working in that job, and perhaps the ranks at your job aren't really what you would like them to be, or maybe you have worked up the ranks and you're at the top now and you're still feeling a sense of desperation and really hoping that you could have maybe some freedom in your life or more flexibility and room to choose. So being in a job that you feel really stuck in can create deep feelings of desperation. Another avenue that really creates feelings of desperation for us are finances. If your finances aren't where you want them to be, perhaps you have a mountain of debt, perhaps your monthly income isn't what you need it to be, if you feel like you're upside down, or I know many people feel sometimes like you're just walking up a steep hill and there's just no sign of really letting down, that your finances are just insurmountable. That can create a huge sense of desperation. The other desperation can be created just simply by the fact that you feel like you need to make something happen, that you really want to take action and you don't know how to take action. So those really are not places that any of us want to be. We don't want to be in a place of desperation. And in order to get out of that place of desperation, you have to really think about your confidence. Now, obviously, people really like to be around confident individuals. If you've ever been around someone who is just kind of that life of the party, the person that always had a smile on their face, the person that really just had that magnetic personality, those are people that have a lot of confidence. Research proves that you want to be with someone who you view as successful. People want to do business with people and businesses that they view as successful. So being successful and being confident are huge determinants as to whether you're going to be a success in business or not. So when you're really thinking about trying to create confidence in your life, what you want to do is think back to a time when you were confident. Think back to a time when maybe you had a lot of confidence because perhaps you had lost a lot of weight, perhaps you got a raise at work, or maybe you got, a big bonus. Something happened in your life that really created confidence. It could also be maybe you got a compliment from someone. Maybe someone said, "Oh my gosh, you really have impacted me and done a great job on this project that you worked on." At some point, all of us have had those times where we've really felt a deep sense of confidence. That confidence radiates out of you, and it really allows others around you to feel secure. Have you ever been around someone who is just insecure in their skin? They just really are almost uncomfortable to be around because just sitting there next to them makes you feel like they are so insecure and so unhappy with themselves that you just don't want to be around it. Now, I'm not saying that you have necessarily that sense of desperation taking place in your life, but if you do have that sense of desperation taking place today, I want you to really examine it. I want you to make the choice to change your thinking. The reality is that you can make your life into whatever you would like it to be. So today, if you're feeling desperate because perhaps you're locked into a job that you don't want to be at, or perhaps you're in a situation where your finances are out of control, those are things that can change. I'm here to tell you they can change because I've changed them. I had a job once that I felt like I could never leave, and I left and started my own companies. I was in a situation where my husband and I actually had $40,000 in debt, and we were able to pay all of that debt off, and now we're in a place where we're totally debt-free. And those are feelings of liberation. The reason that I was able to accomplish those goals in my life is because I set in place a level of confidence. I knew that I could accomplish those goals. I knew that all it was going to take is a lot of discipline and hard work on my part. Now, when you start a business, it is a lot of hard work. Quitting a job sounds wonderful and it sounds absolutely liberating. And let me tell you, it is liberating to quit your job. However, starting a company is also a lot of work. So you have to know going in that when you start a business, it's going to be a lot of work. But that's okay because it gives you the freedom that you want. And so along with that freedom really just comes that sense of confidence. When you know that you're in control of your own destiny, you have a lot of confidence. So I'm here to encourage you today that if you're feeling like you're in a place of desperation, to try and put that desperation on the shelf. Put it in a place where you're not going to be able to access it mentally, and think about thoughts of confidence. You have the ability to accomplish what you want in life. It's just a matter of putting your mind in that place and creating goals, creating action management steps, and then really sticking to it. So I'm here today to just help you become that person that you would like to be, to empower you, to let you know that you can create the life that you would like, and you can create the money that you would like too. You just have to go out there with a lot of confidence and take action. Have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you next week.
And the great thing about having a segment from Heather on the show is that it gives me an opportunity to clear my throat and take a drink of water and come back with my voice fully refreshed. So that was great advice from Heather, the How to Quit Working coach, about confidence. Great stuff. If you are really serious and you really want help and guidance from someone like Heather, who has been there, she's done that. She started multiple successful businesses. She's done it while she had a family, and she knows what she's doing. And if you want specific guidance from her and you want to have her walking along with you on this journey, go to howtoquitworking.com/coaching and schedule your complimentary coaching session and have a conversation with Heather and see if there's any way that she can help you move forward. And I know that she can. So go to howtoquitworking.com/coaching, schedule your complimentary session with Heather. And that just might be the thing that you need to really get to the next level in your business and quit your job. So thanks for joining us on this episode of the How to Quit Working show. Speaking of kicking you in the butt and giving you the hard, difficult advice that we all need sometime as entrepreneurs, on Monday's show, you are really going to get your butt kicked. We're going to be talking to a billionaire. Yes, I said it with a B, a billionaire, who is going to give you some advice on how to be financially successful. I'm very excited for the show. It is going to be a departure from our normal format and how we normally do things and the tone that we normally have, but it's important. It's a message that you need to hear. It was a message that resonated a lot with me. It's going to make you uncomfortable, but it's important to listen to because being comfortable is not the way to be successful. So on Monday's show, I am going to, in the theme of kicking butt, I'm going to make you uncomfortable with a billionaire guest who is going to come on the show and give you some really great advice. Have a great weekend. I look forward to talking to you again on Monday on the How to Quit Working show. And until then,
Thanks for joining us on the How to Quit Working show. Tune in next time when we'll talk to another amazing person just like you who is now living the ultimate life of freedom and doing it on their terms. If you want to learn how to quit working and get these episodes delivered directly to you, visit howtoquitworkingshow.com.